At a time when home is being redefined in the Bay Area, Nest, creating home, weaves together the formal and informal places in the Filoli estate. Through 3 exhibitions spanning the house, garden, and nature preserve, we learn about Filoli's past, reflect on our personal stories, and connect with the natural world around us. Join us behind the scenes of Nest, creating home.
The People at Filoli exhibit is both a combination of displays in the house and a specialty tour that'll be going through the house and garden, telling the story of staff who lived on site. Historically, they were people that were meant to be invisible here. You were a staff meant to kind of do your work in the background and not be seen, and therefore many of their stories kind of became forgotten. But this place didn't run and didn't function without those people. As one of the last intact Gilded Age estate on the peninsula, Filoli tells a story of a time gone by. It's very rare that you have these large estates still functional. It still has all of its historical components. This isn't just a California home. It shows influence from architecture and art styles from more than 20 countries. And that makes sense considering that there was dozens of different people here from all over the world. This is a part of our story. People moving here because it was the west coast of California and it was opportunity and it was a chance at the American dream and a chance at a new life. So it makes sense that this is a story that we're telling.
Because I use photography in my art, it's very real and surreal at the same time. The camera takes a certain moment in time. I expand on them from an emotional place, creating a world around it that our minds recreate into finished reality. This collaboration with Filoli is about everything from human migration and immigration to plants and animals and cultures and how people can come together to celebrate all forms of life. I started working on this photograph that I had of my own grandmother when she was 15 years old and came on a ship by herself to discover a new life in America. I digitally combine several photographs and then paint between the images so that I can create a narrative that is believable and readable as a story. My greatest hope for people who have seen this exhibition is that they begin to reflect on their own ancestral stories. If they look at their own story, they can then think about the world around them right now and how they can be more empathic towards current immigrants.
I love environmental art, and particularly temporary art, because it's so immediate, it's so fresh. You make it, and then pretty soon it disappears. Since most of the work that I do involves taking natural materials from the site itself, each work takes on its own expression. Here at Filoli, there are different places throughout the garden. So what I did was visit each of these places with the staff, and we talked about what kinds of materials would be available from the everyday gardening that happens there. So I'll go back to my studio, I'll think about some ideas, I'll wake up in the morning and go, there's an idea. They're gonna cut down that big oak tree, so let's make a giant circle nest out of it. I've never done a giant nest before. The mission in my work is about connecting people to nature. Because you're looking at art, because you're looking at design, you're open. And then when this kind of thing happens, and when this kind of natural moment occurs, you can have a transformative experience. You can be transformed and not even know that you were transformed.